We do have Redwing today we can look at. I feel like Redwing might be the best card of the season, but it's still not going to be very good. Um, Probably the card of the season is Adam Warlock. I feel like, even though the Sam Wilson's pretty good, I like Sam Wilson a lot. The first time this moves, add a card from your hand to the old location. I feel like the requirement with the ability of this card are kind of counterintuitive. Not counterintuitive. It's anti-synergy. Like the payoff of the card and the requirement for the payoff is sort of anti-synergy in that the move cards, the move activators are low cost, low power, and then the ability wants to bring in high cost, high power cards, right? So you got yourself in a difficult situation and it's hard to find synergies with it. That being said, he seems incredible in a Surtur deck. Is he a 3-3 or a 3-4? Just Heimdall it? Yeah, but if you only have one synergy for it, then that's the problem, right? Moving Redwing can potentially be worth up to 6 energy, which isn't too difficult to make happen if you move Redwing late in the match after you played most of the cards in your hand. You would also consider Redwing as another tool to get certain expensive cards out on the field early, such as Galactus. The biggest challenge with this card isn't finding the right targets to summon. Instead, you need to find all the pieces to make Redwing work. This is where things get a little trickier. Yeah, this is exactly what I said at the very beginning. That his ability and his payoff, like his activation and his payoff, are counterintuitive. Because the only card that you want to be running in the deck that is both an activator and a payoff for Redwing is Heimdall, right? Everything else is kind of watering down your deck and making it worse, so you can activate Redwing. And when you're running a card like Redwing with such a powerful ability, you don't want to be running just one activator. There's no other activators that are really high powered, right? Outside of Heimdall. That being said, I feel like Spider is another good card that you can easily fit in that deck, right? What's your name? I even play here in Marvel Rivals and I forgot her name. Yeah, Penny Parker. So Penny Parker and Heimdall, I feel like are the two best decks. Because Penny Parker is easy to pull off, right? And then that's a 2-3 punch. So you can put her down on... Madam Web is actually pretty good too, now that I think about it. But then if you run Madam Web, what else are you going to run? Like you're going for a whole move. I feel like Penny Parker, Heimdall, and Spider-Man 2099 are going to be a good package for Redwing. I really need to buff Spider to be 2-3. It's so weak at 3-3, it is. There are many cards in the game that provide a lot of points after moving only once, but I believe a full move deck probably has too many cheap cards for Redwing to be worth it anyway. Bounce move rarely plays cards that cost more than 3, and pure move has a Lyot and Heimdall, but the rest are all low power cards. It might be easier to look for decks with worthy targets and some move elements. Cards like Madam Web and Heimdall are used in non-move decks, and that could be a good indicator for Redwing. Currently, Heimdall is played in Scream Surtur hybrid deck. This deck has the ability to pull Magneto, Aero, or a 4-cost high-power card with Redwing. Madam Web sees play in the ongoing deck as well, and you could use Redwing to get Dr. Doom, Spectrum, or Blue Marvel for free there. It is a little tricky, but you can get there in the end if you know what to look for. Oh yeah, there's this deck also that I forgot about. The payoff for Redwing is appealing, but I'm afraid the setup might be a little too demanding to be reliable. Bro, he's just saying the exact things I was saying. The great thing to note, however, is the fact that Redwing could open some snap opportunities that opponents would struggle to read, or maybe even a bluff snap here and there. In my opinion, this is a challenging card to build around and play. I would likely let those with concrete ideas that they want to test give it a try before pulling the trigger if I was short on resources. Yeah, I feel like this is not a buy card. Pre-read? No, it wasn't pre-read. I don't prep for my streams. I just turn on the stream, if you haven't noticed. What is going on? Redwing decks. So what did they cut here? It's not Spider-Man. Polaris? They cut Polaris. Would you run Redwing with only one activator? I feel like you change Hydra Bob too. He moves once in that deck. He can only move once. I mean, you only want to move him once. I feel like you also have to cut Hydra Bob here for a one cost mover. In theory, you could run Cloak for points or Penny Parker. I feel like Penny Parker is a bit too expensive, but I feel like Cloak is kind of a, is he okay though? Like, you want to play 4 drops on turn 4 and 5, maybe. Aranya, maybe? Because Aranya is going to be available for a long time. Does Redwing only work once? Yes, he only works once. The first time this moves, add a card from your hand to the old location. Like, I feel like you do need to cut Hydra Bob for something else. And I like, you're always going to have a 1-drop for your Carl. So maybe you just run Cloak, because Cloak is such a bait for your opponent. Also, if you've cut Polaris, like, how good is Scream here? You move with Aero, you move with Magneto, you move with Spider-Man. That's it. You got potentially 3 times you can move her. Is Redwing good to get tomorrow? I would definitely hold on to my resources and wait and let people cook. Redwing replaces Polaris here, but is it really worth it to spend your collector's tokens or spotlight keys for that? No. The answer is 100% no. Okay, now I see it will drop to Series 3. Where did you see that she's going to drop to Series 3? Did they just make the announcement? There's no way they made the announcement this early in the morning. There's not a single card this month where it's worth it, I reckon, yeah. Hunter, they haven't announced the drop. They warned that Nebula will drop on Discord because she's in spotlights this week. Oh, they said Nebula is dropping. Oh, okay. I feel like this is... Maran Web isn't the best performing build of this archetype, but you have to play here if you want Redwing to have a purpose. I feel this is the problem with Redwing, right? That the activators are so hard to fit in a deck with enough payoff for Redwing. It's so difficult to put move activators in a deck with high power cards, high cost / high power cards, so that Redwing is worth it. So I feel like Redwing's biggest issue is deck building. So maybe in the future we get a better card. Also, if you build hard around Redwing and you never draw it, the deck is garbage. Yeah, it needs to be like, in my opinion, you need Redwing, 2 activators, one of whom is going to be Heimdall, because he's an activator and a payoff at the same time, right? And then a little bit more synergy between those two, and then another card that synergizes with move. Redwing pure move. I think this is trash. Today age. I think this is not going to work. Redwing Lockjaw. This is extremely ambitious. This one isn't doing well at the moment, so Redwing could be a welcome addition, especially since Move this kind of faded away after Dagger was nerfed. I added Spider-Man on top of Alioth and Heimdall for reliability, but I'm not sure the 5 cost makes much sense in the current meta. Maybe summoning it early would make it more precise with the card it destroys. Nigo and Kate Bishop can also be activated, but not reliable. Yeah. Wait a minute. You might be onto something there.